Hello viewers, welcome to Top Notch TV. With you today is teacher Emis Njabani, a teacher of English and Literature, an examiner as well as an author. With me is our lovely Tr.Risper Okwisa, a teacher of English and Literature, an examiner and as well as an author. So during this session, our learners, we are going to continue with plot analysis of the play The Samaritan. In our previous sessions, we did plot analysis of the first two acts, Act 1 and Act 2. So today we are going to continue and we are going to look at Act 3, Scene 1 and Scene 2. Welcome, and I hope you learn from this session. So we are going to start with Act 3, Scene 1, and Teacher Risper is going to take us through the scene.
Thank you for joining us, viewers. As we continue with the plot analysis, I'll be tackling Act 3, Scene 1. And about Act 3, Scene 1, we are going to talk about the setting of the story. The story is happening at Sagrada Secondary School, and we look at their students in a class that are awaiting their teacher. Their teacher, Miss Nicole, is on her way, and as she comes into the classroom, we see a typical replica of a normal classroom. The teacher comes in and she finds that the class is disorderly. The teacher goes ahead asking the students to arrange their desks better, and as well as appointing one of the students to go ahead and pick the paper. She goes ahead and says that a disorderly place cannot allow for learning. And what is going on over here is a lesson on ethics. As we have been reminded, Teacher Nicole is their teacher who teaches them ethics. The topic that they are dwelling on in that particular lesson, they are looking at the heart, the human heart. And we are learning that according to Miss Nicole, the human heart has two parts. One of the parts is the mind, and the other one is described as the spirit. She goes ahead and says that the mind is responsible for things such as making medicine and also cars. Now, as she is coming to this particular lesson, you're learning that previously they had learned about the mind part of the heart. For this particular lesson that captures our scene, they're talking about the spiritual part of the heart. And when they're talking about the spiritual part of the heart, they're also dividing it into two categories. They're talking about there is the good and the evil heart. The lesson goes further, and Nicole explains the importance of obeying the rules as spelled out by the maker. When she's talking about the maker, we are able to attribute a character trait to Nicole, that she is someone who is religious. She is encouraging her students that they should obey the rules as stipulated by the maker, and that makes up for their good spirit. What about the evil spirit? When she's talking about the evil spirit, she says it is responsible for destroying, and it can be attributed to the beast that she's also calling Satan. And when you're talking about the evil spirit, the spirit of the beast, and the failure to obey, she compares this one to the traffic lights. That when people do not obey the traffic lights, what happens? There tends to be havoc and causing accidents that in turn cause people to get hurt and suffer sorrow as well as pain. She furthers her explanation citing the biblical story of the fall of Jerusalem. What happened to Jerusalem? Jerusalem, because of the failure to obey the good voice of the Lord, Jerusalem ended up falling after the attack by the Babylonians. This can be, when you talk about style, this you can call biblical allusion. And as you're still talking about the fall of Jerusalem after the attack of the Babylonians, we are learning that Jerusalem fell because of the following. People are engaging in acts such as sexual perversion. We are looking at killing one another, and also we are looking at others such as idolatry. Idolatry can simply be explained as the worship of idols. She then goes ahead and narrows down to the present day society, with people engaging in corruption and even others wearing talisman. A talisman is something like a charm that someone wears within them or even carries in their pockets so that they ensure something bad does not happen to them. She gives this one as an example of idolatry. You're no longer being protected by God, but you're being protected by something you believe in, something that you can even be holding in your pocket. She started from the general and then she went down to the society, and now she narrows it down further and she's talking about their society, the Maracas municipality. Within the Maracas municipality, they're talking about, she's attacking the municipality, saying that it is being swayed by the spirit of the devil. That is why people are engaging in corruption. That is why people are engaging in injustice. In other words, you're learning that within that society, there is injustice. And then she calls upon her student not to ignore the justice of God. According to Teacher Nicole, she says that God might take his time, but in the end, God usually makes someone to pay. That is the kind of advice she is advising the students. She's giving the students that they need to heed to the good voice, to the good voice of the Creator. Then we see that Nicole has to end her class at that juncture. And as they are walking with Madame Narine, the principal warns her that there is impending bad news, but she still requests Nicole that you keep me in the loop. Tell me about what happens. And this brings to a close the end of Act 3, Scene 1. And I'll give the cue back to my co-presenter, Teacher Emis.
Thank you, Tr.Risper, for that explanation of Act 3, Scene 1. And I'll continue the same act, Scene 2. That is Act 3, Scene 2. And this scene, the setting is Nicole's office, and it is on a Friday morning. So it is the setting immediately, no, it is actually the events immediately after the lesson. Mm-hmm. So during the lesson, Inspector Bembe arrives. Mm-hmm. But I'll take you back to our previous lesson when Nicole had a visit from Mayor Mosi. Mm-hmm. And before Mayor Mosi visited her, they had a meeting, Mayor Mosi and Inspector Bembe, where they decided to go and talk to Nicole and try to persuade her to filter whatever that is posted in the Samaritan app. Mm-hmm. So when Mosi went to talk to Nicole, he was not able to convince her. He was not able to change her mind. Now, Inspector Bembe takes it upon himself to go to the school and convince Nicole with whichever means possible. He's a general inspector of the police, and mostly it seems that he believes in the taking the tough measures. Instead of talking to Nicole in a nice way like Mosi decided to do, he decides to take the tough measures. So he shows up at Sagrada Secondary School. Mm-hmm. And he wants to see Nicole. So Nicole is informed by Principal Narine that Inspector Bembe wants to see her, and they're led to Nicole's office. Obviously, Principal Narine excuses herself. Remember, earlier on we said that she had said that the school is going to actually not get involved into matters to do with politics. And so Teacher Nicole is on her own if she insists on pursuing this Samaritan issue. So she's left with Inspector Bembe, who had come with two of his police officers, and he says that he has come to arrest her and arraign her in court on Monday. Remember, it's Friday. Courts don't hold sessions over the weekend. So his plan was to arrest her on Friday, keep her locked up until Monday, where she would be arraigned in court. So Nicole is wondering, what have I done? Why are you arresting me? What crime have I committed? At the beginning, we see Bembe leveling some accusations against Nicole. And the first thing he says that that she is actually guilty of disobeying the leaders. He asked her, was Mayor Mosi here the other day? Yes. Did he try to talk to you about pulling down the Samaritan app? Mm-hmm. Nicole says yes. Did you do exactly what Mayor Mosi told you to do? Nicole says that she only believes in doing what is right. And she, as much as she follows the leaders. She cannot blindly do what the leaders tell her to do if she doesn't believe it's the right thing to do. So according to her, she does not do what Miamosi had ordered her to do because she does not believe it's the right thing to do. And that does not sit well with Bembe. It tells her that that's a criminal offense, not obeying your leaders. So that is one accusation. The second one, it tells her that the signal of her phone was picked in a murder scene. So he's trying to tell Nicole that she was involved in a murder, a crime. And now Nicole is like, no, stop laying accusations, false accusations against me. I did not do such kind of things. And then the third thing, he says that the school generator was stolen, and he and Nicole know who stole the generator. So he's trying to say that Nicole stole the school generator. So that's the third accusation. He also says that Nicole is so strong-willed and very stubborn to be a teacher. So he's trying to imply that she's also, if she doesn't actually do what they want her to do, they are going to make her lose her job as a school teacher. So Nicole does not actually give in to intimidation. So Bebe goes ahead and asks her where she has kept the Samaritan. That brings about ignorance. And from the Inspector Bembe's side. So he thinks the Samaritan is something that is tangible, that can be kept in an office, something that he can just go pick from Nicole's office and maybe destroy it. So he's rummaging through the drawers, the desks to try to see if he can find the Samaritan. So he keeps on asking Nicole, where have you kept it? Where is the Samaritan? And Nicole is puzzled. She's shocked that someone, our Inspector General, does not understand what an application is. So Nicole says, I don't have it. If you want the Samaritan application, go to the internet and upload it. Go to the internet and download it. You need to go to the internet and download the application if you need it. It's not something that I have in my office. So Inspector Bembe tells her, he keeps on threatening her that if you see me personally being involved in an arrest, then you need to know that it is what? A very serious crime or a very serious offense. So if I am arresting you personally, it means that it's a very serious offense that you are going to charge you with. So you would rather cooperate, tell me where the Samaritan is so that we destroy it. But Nicole says that she is only going to do what is right. She actually has Inspector Bembe that the Samaritan is a good thing because it's going to be like a whistleblower to all the ills that are happening in the society. It's even going to help you and your department to actually arrest the wrongdoers in the society. But what does he say? Inspector Bembe says that he is well trained to do his job and he does not need an application to assist him to run his department. He also says that it is not the responsibility of the school to assist in fighting crimes in the municipality. He also continues to say that actually he thinks that Nicole is the one behind the Samaritan, is the mastermind of the Samaritan, but she is hiding behind the students. So claiming that this application is the students' project, but in real sense, it is our own personal project to try and fight the leaders in the municipality. But Nicole argues, no, this is a good thing. It's supposed to be embraced by mostly the leaders because it is assisting them to fight the ills. But of course, we know why the leaders were fighting the Samaritan. It's because they were corrupt and they felt that the Samaritan, just like we said the other time, is stripping them naked. It's exposing them, exposing what they have been doing in their offices. And so they want the Samaritan destroyed so that they can avoid or actually stay away from prison. So when Nicole does not give them the Samaritan, of course, there was nothing to give, and does not agree to all the conditions they were giving her, then Inspector Bembe orders his 2 police officers to arrest Nicole. So Nicole tries to protest against the arrest, but of course, she is overpowered by the 2 police officers. They handcuff her and they lead her away. And that marks the end of another short scene of Act 3. And we were only doing 2 scenes for this session, our learners. So that marks the end of our session. But stay tuned. We are coming back with another session where we are going to discuss Act 3, Scene 3, and our last Act 4, Scene 1. Stay tuned and press that subscribe button. Until next time, bye-bye.